Sisyphus was pushing his boulder uphill when the Grinch came down with a sack full of will. "I know what your trouble is," grumbled the Grinch. "You want that stone higher. Stop wanting. Don't flinch." From behind a green curtain, the Wizard of Oz pulled levers and thundered, "Your trouble has laws. The hill is too steep and the roadway is poor. I'll flatten the mountain. You'll suffer no more." Then Coyote arrived with his sideways-eyed grin. "You're each partly right, which means, let's begin." The little prince sat on the boulder and said, "Is suffering inside him or outside instead?" And Cindy Lou, who was barely past 2, said, "Perhaps it's between them. Could that also be true?" Coyote bowed. "Now the seam has appeared, and the seam is the place everyone should have feared. Not feared like a monster, not feared like a knife, but watched as the meeting where pain enters life. For suffering isn't a thing in the road, nor only the heart, nor only the load. It happens when 3 things fall out of relation: the path, the world, and the heart's expectation." Sisyphus stopped pushing. "So which one is wrong?" "Wrong," laughed Coyote. "That word is too strong. Sometimes the hill is the trouble. It's cruelly designed. It breaks every body, then blames every mind. If Oz built the road so the rich rolled downhill while the poor push their stones by exhaustion and will, do not teach the poor breathing and call the job done. Change the road, move the weight, make room for everyone." The wizard grew quiet behind his machine. Cindy Lou asked, "Is that what covenant means?" "Yes," said Coyote. "Covenant changes the ground, the rules and arrangements that hold people bound. Food, shelter, access, a ramp and a door, a promise that no one must crawl on the floor. It edits the landscape so fallen can cease, or so different lives can move through it in peace." Then the Grinch crossed his arms. "But sometimes," he said, "the road may be open, yet pain fills the head." "Correct," Coyote answered. "A heart can hold tight. It can turn one direction into absolute right. It can whisper, 'The stone must reach the crown. The world must applaud me. It must not roll down.' That is not merely desire. Desire can guide. A flower seeks sunlight. A river seeks wide. Craving is desire with its fingers clenched shut. This must happen. That must not. No perhaps, no but. The Buddhist does not kill every motion or care. The Buddha still walked. Compassion went somewhere. The work is not making the heart flat and dead. It is loosening the fist around what lies ahead." The Grinch looked down at his own tightly curled hand. "So contemplation does not mean accept every land." "No," said the prince. "That would seem rather odd. A prisoner shouldn't call prison the will of a god." Coyote winked. "Exactly. A wall may be truly a wall. Not every hard surface is your craving at all. Some suffering arrives without your invitation. Illness, violence, grief, exploitation. You can collide with a thing you did not pursue. That is why the field must be questioned too." Sisyphus pointed from himself to the stone. "But suppose neither one is the problem alone." "Ah," Coyote said. "Now we come to the third, the space of the meeting, the promise, the word. Perhaps you need handles. Perhaps you need friends. Perhaps you need boundaries where one body ends. Perhaps the rock's burden could still be endured if labor were shared and return were assured. That is relational work. Not changing your soul, not leveling the mountain, but changing the whole. Way body meets boulder, and person meets place. The rhythm of giving, the distance, the pace. Oz stepped from the curtain, no longer immense. "So there are 3 edits?" Coyote said, "Yes, field, grip, coupling. Or simpler than this, change the hill, loosen the fist, repair the relationship. But diagnosis matters," Coyote went on. "Use the wrong cure and the wisdom is gone. Tell Sisyphus, let go when the hill has been rigged. That is spiritual bypass in robes and a wig. Build him a highway, a smooth golden track. While he remains certain the stone must not crack, then you have constructed, with excellent skill, a faster and smoother road to the very same hill." Camus had been sitting nearby all this time, silent as noon and unseduced by rhyme. At last he said, "The universe may never answer our call. The hill does not love us, the stone may still fall, but we need not invent an invisible friend who promises meaning will wait at the end, nor must we destroy every longing we own. We can push while admitting the silence of stone." The little prince nodded. "So the absurd is not only the sky or the man. It happens between what he asks and what can or cannot reply." "Yes," said Camus, "the world remains mute. I refuse false answers. I also refuse to erase the questioner merely because the stars do not tremble in service of us." Then Cindy Lou, who sang softly and slow, "The world may not bend where you wish it to go. So look at the wanting, the road, and the load. Don't blame every traveler. Don't worship the road. Change what is changeable. Loosen your hold. Mend what is between you. Let no one alone carry the mountain and call it their own." Sisyphus placed both hands on the stone. "What, then, is wu-wei? To leave it alone?" "Not quite," said Coyote. "It is not doing nil. It is action not swollen with needless self-will. It means do not push, merely because pushing proves that you are the pusher and therefore must move. Push when push fits. Rest when rest knows. Walk round the mountain when that is what flows. Do not search for one secret, predestined true track. There may be no fixed self with a map on its back. Take the next honest step that the actual ground makes possible without forcing the world to come round. The wizard dismantled one dangerous lever. The Grinch opened one finger. Sisyphus tied a rope around the stone, and the others took hold. The little prince watched the hill. Cindy watched the hands. And Coyote watched the space between them all. Then he asked the question that completed the tale. Is the suffering coming from the hill, from the grip, or from the way they meet? Which part can we honestly change? And who has been forced to carry the ben while everyone else called it wisdom? And for once, the boulder did not become lighter, but it became shared. Paper, the hill,